Hey everybody, Justin from Playing Board Games here, and today I have a quick little look at the game World Breakers Advent of the KHANATE. So this game is currently on Kickstarter right now, and if you have subscribed to our channel before, you've probably seen some videos of Mike and I playing this game. If you have not seen this video before because you've not subscribed to our channel, want to consider subscribing, liking, commenting, all of that stuff that helps us go up the YouTube algorithm and makes the robot happy. But enough about me. We're going to hear talking about World Breakers Advent of the KHANATE because I really like this game. So I wanted to make a short little video kind of discussing why I like this game, why you might like this game, and then just some details that exist for what the game is, so you have an easier way of figuring out if the game is for you. Because it is nearing the end of its Kickstarter by the time that this video goes up, and they've already been funded, they've already hit their goal, and I really like the game a lot, and I want to see it succeed beyond even the scope of the Kickstarter. I think there's a really cool game here, and I'm excited to see what its potential future is, and I want to basically get people on that so that they can see it and play it and just see why this game is so good. So, this game has 3 modes that I'm aware of at the top of my head. One of them is with some pre-constructed decks. You can play pre-constructed decks here. One is a single-player mode, which I have not played yet, but I hear is pretty spicy. And the third mode is a draft mode. If you've played Magic the Gathering, you might have heard of the thing called a cube. This game is essentially a cube when you get it out of the box. You have 96 player cards, which are these here, that are shuffled together and dealt out. If you don't know what a cube is, it's a pool of cards in which you draft from in order to build decks for. So it's not like drafting like Seven Wonders. It's like drafting from a pool of cards, and then with your drafted cards, you are going to build a deck with to face your opponent. This is a 1v1 game where each player takes on the role of a world breaker. There's Kudaloon, Marco Polo, the Mahandasat, and Ruknudin Kershaw. My apologies if I butchered any of that pronunciation, but these are the 4 world breakers, and they each belong to one of the 4 factions, which are Earth, Stars, Moon, and Void. This matters because cards have a cost in the top left. This is the amount of Mythium, I believe it is called. Let's just make sure. It doesn't say there. Mythium. Mythium. I'm a genius. They have a cost of Mythium, and then they also have a faction. Like, you need to have standing. You need to have 2 standing in the Earth Guild to play this card. In the core set, there are only cards of each faction, as well as the neutral cards. And what is exciting about this, is what I was saying about the possibility for the future of the game, is that we can see cross-faction cards potentially, which is like, you have Earth Stars, Earth Moon, Void Stars, and see the design space that they explore from that. The reason why I personally really like this game is because the mechanics are really good. The back and forth style of gameplay, which I'll get to, is also really good. But because it is a cube-style format, it means that it is incredibly replayable. So you get a lot of game in your box. This is not like... It's like Magic the Gathering, it's like Netrunner, it's like Flesh and Blood, even though I've never played it, where it's a competitive card game. But it also has a huge board game aspect to it because it's all coming in one box. You don't need to buy booster packs to build your decks. You can just bring this box to your game night with another friend, and you guys can play it. You can even, I believe there is, on the Kickstarter, you can buy, extra draft packs, so you can get, a big set of cards and draft 4 decks from it, and then you guys can play, you and your friends can play multiple one-on-one matches. Don't quote me on that, though. I could be completely wrong, but that is what I believe in my heart of hearts to be true. But what I really like is the fact that there's just so much game in this box. I've played all of the pre-constructs, and I've done 2 drafts. And if there's one thing, if you don't know about drafting or cubes, is that, well, yes, the limited number of cards is there. You might see completely different cards in your draft, which forces you down different paths. This is another reason why I'm also hopeful for the future of the game, is because the more cards that are added, the bigger your cube pool gets, which gives you even more variety when you play, which means even more game for you to get out of it. So for a smaller fee, you're going to get more exciting times. So we're going to quickly talk about the gameplay. So on your turn, this is the round tracker. You take an action, and when your action is done, it then goes to the opposite player. This continues until each player has taken 4 actions, and then the round ends. The goal of the game is to get 10 power, and if at the rally phase, when someone has gotten 10 power, the game is going to end. Of course, if there's ties, or if it hasn't happened, there are special rules for that, but I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty rules for this. I'm just talking about the nice sum of the game. When the next round begins, this round tracker flips. I locked it. This round tracker flips, and the person who ended the previous round actually gets to go twice, which gives some really nice and really tense choke points to the game, where you either get your double action turn, which is really critical, or your opponent gets a double action turn, and they might be able to really take advantage of that. The basic actions in the game are gain a Mythium, draw a card, pay 2 to gain a standing, which, as I said, is important because you need to hit your standing thresholds to play the cards in your hand. You can play a card, develop a location, or attack. So locations are cards that, let me just rotate that for you. Locations are cards that when activated, you remove one of the covers on it, and then it covers the 1, 2, or 3. When you remove the first one, the 1 is uncovered, you do that effect. When you activate it a second time, you remove the second token, or you get the second effect, etc., etc. These are powerful cards that give you power and also lots of resources. Attacking allows you to send your units in. As you see at the bottom, they have a health, and they have an attack and then a health. When you attack, if someone blocks, you guys deal damage. If they take damage equal to their health, they are discarded. They do not heal at the end of the round. This is not like magic. Damage stays in the form of wound tokens. Ow. And then if your attacks are undefended, you gain 1 power for each attacker that has hit the opponent, so to speak. And then in addition, if you had at least one of your followers hit, you get to destroy, you get to damage a location, which removes one of the tokens on the location without discarding the location. There are also there are also events, which as you can see right here. This is a gratuitous gift. 0 cost, play a follower card, paying 2 less. That's economy, baby. So these are another things that they just have a one-time effect, and then they are put in your discard pile. There is a good number of cards. There's 96 cards, not including the WORLDBREAKERS uniques, which are they each have 3. That makes it so that the pool is nice and big. A huge thing about this game as well is that it's very balanced. Every faction has their strengths, every faction has their weaknesses, and every faction has what they are very nice at. This is just like what makes it really fun too, is the fact that it's just so balanced. You can take an approach to your draft and you can really get what you want. I, for example, drafted all 4 colors. I did lose that game, but it was not like a slaughter. My opponent just had a better deck. He had a better controlling deck versus my controlling deck. But the fact is that in this draft environment, you're able to explore these cool things that is a lot harder to do in like a competitive card game. But because this is kind of like a board game where you can try the strange strategies to see if they work, that's what makes it really fun. You also have your WORLDBREAKERS, which each have their own special ability, which makes them a little bit more unique. And this is another area that makes me excited for the future of the game, for the potential for more WORLDBREAKERS, because they also help shape your strategy and give you additional bonuses and awesome perks as you are playing. There's just a lot of really positive about this game. One thing that I really enjoy as well is obviously the lore and the vibe of the game. It's a very unique setting. It's a fictional world, obviously inspired very heavily by our own world, our own history. This is something that I've talked with one of the designers about in our videos, but there is a lot of love that went into the world of this game, which really shows off in everything. Like, it's just like I'm not gonna sit here and just try to tell you that this is the best game I've ever played, because I don't know that yet. However, this is a game that I truly believe in and I think is really good. And if you like competitive card games, if you like draft environments like Limited Magic or like Cube in Magic, if you like those environments, I think that there is a huge chance that you will like World Breakers. There are already some posts about the potential future for this game on the website. And in addition, there also is a Discord community. And I could be wrong on this, but there's also like active testing that is going on. So like new cards are added in pretty quickly, and they are like tested by the community on their Discord channel. So this is not like a thing where it's like you get a set and like it doesn't get touched until like it is only touched by designers until a certain point. There's a lot of active playing in this game on the Discord channel. So as you can see just down over here, looking for games? Join our Discord channel. So it's a community that's also actively trying to facilitate ease of play, and the tabletop mod really does a good job for that. I don't really think I have much more to say off the top of my head. I just think that this game is really cool. The action system flows really nicely. The learning curve is also quite low. I think that if you've played any card game, getting into this is going to be pretty easy. I think the learning curve is low, but like as with most card games, the mastery curve is high. So you'll get the basics of it really quickly, but then you have to like figure out the best way to approach it, which is what makes it really fun to try to crack that egg. I hope that this has given you some insight into why World Breakers is cool and why it might be worthwhile for you to check out. There will be a link to the Kickstarter down in the description for this video. And I just want to say I'm really excited to see what is to come for this game. And I'm optimistic about the game's future, and I'm excited to play it more on Tabletop Simulator and also when my physical copy comes as well. Because the game is really cool, it's really fun, and I highly suggest you check it out. Thank you so much for watching. This is a little bit of an unconventional video on the channel, but I am very happy that I made it, so I hope you enjoyed watching it. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.